Thanks for tuning in to the Old Dirty Basement. On this week's episode, we're covering part 2 of Billy Milligan.
Oh, Billy Milligan, also known as Sean, also known as Tommy, also known as Christopher Carr. This guy was quite the escape artist.
Yeah.
Yeah, much like Billy Milligan, there's another one of these episodes. So
Yeah, Billy Milligan.
So there's more than one.
Yeah.
Milligan.
Milligan, yeah.
Very good.
So we hope you're enjoying the show. Speaking of which, leave that 5-star rating. Spotify, Apple, Google. On Apple, you can leave a written review. Really help us out. And sit back, relax, and enjoy part 2 of Billy Milligan.
This is the Old Dirty Basement, home to debauchery, madness, murder, and mayhem. A terror-filled train ride deep into the depths of the devil's den.
With a little bit of humor.
History.
And copious consciousness.
I'm your announcer, Shallow Throat. Your hosts are Dave, Matt, and Zap. I love you, Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right.
Hey, this is Dave.
Matt.
And Zap.
And welcome to the Old Dirty Basement.
Where every week we cover a true crime.
Murder.
Or compelling story.
So sit back.
Relax.
And comprehend.
Hello, everyone out there in Radio Land, and welcome back to the Old Dirty Basement. I am Matt. With me always is Dave and Zap.
What's going on?
Yeah, good evening, fellas.
Hey, I am very happy to be here.
That's nice.
What's that from?
Coming to America.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
I am very happy to be here.
Yeah, use that on Smoking the Bandit too, and I was thinking about it. I'm like, I know it's got to be from a movie or show or something.
It has. It's fucking Zap, man. All he
Yeah.
does is talking quotes.
Yeah.
What a jerk.
The quotable quotations.
Yeah,
Was quotable quotations for $1,000.
Alex. Yeah. So we're gonna get into part 2 here of Billy Milligan. Hopefully you tuned in last week for part 1. I think we learned a lot, but there's still a lot more to get into. But real quick before we get into that, I had a dirty mailbag item from our boy Officer Vince. I forgot I wanted to mention it on the last one, but when we did John Schaefer, but the Erie, the pizza bomber, we had gotten a message about Partners Strip Club. Listener Marty from Erie said to go check out Partners next time you're up in the Erie area. And our boy Officer Vince said that he had been there on occasions. He didn't really say personally, but he said he was there undercover, I guess, doing some
business
work.
related.
Yeah, business related.
Only.
Yeah, some narcotics work. But I guess he said over, that's been a long time, and he said he really cleaned up their act now. He said he think it's like one of the nicer strip clubs, like in the Erie area. But yeah, it was interesting to hear.
If there is such a thing.
If there is such a thing. Yeah, we were just talking about that off the air. But yeah, Boy Officer Vince is always good for a fun fact or little mailbag item from time to time. So we appreciate that.
Thank you, Officer Vince, as always.
Yes, thanks, Officer Vince, for listening and being a supporter of the basement.
That's right. But yeah, this story today, I'm real excited to hear the conclusion here.
Yeah, man. Billy Milligan, part 2. So far, we know that Billy Milligan had a bit of a troubled childhood. His dad killed himself when he was 4 years old. His stepfather was a piece of shit. Beat the shit out of his mom. Beat the shit out of him. He was just a beater. Drinker, short temper. We found out that at a very early age, this Billy Milligan was starting to display a number of additional personalities other than his own, speaking different languages, speaking in different tones, speaking as different genders. By the age of 14 or 15, he was missing school, just blacking out, wandering around town, having these waking dreams, just again, blacking out, waking up. How the hell did I get here? How am I on the other side of town? I was just in class. Like, what just happened? What else? Some crimes at a relatively young age, at the age of 17. He was his first big one was kidnapping and rape. After that, he was arrested for grand larceny for holding up a gay guy who was trying to, just tooling for some ass,
Right.
looking for a piece.
Just doing his thing.
Yeah, man. At the age of 20, him and 2 other guys knocked over a drugstore. By knocked over, I mean they burgled it.
Burgled it, yeah.
Burglared it.
They burgled her.
Burgled her.
He went to prison for a little bit after that, but not too long because he plea bargained. After that, he was released, and right after he got out of prison, He was arrested again for rape and armed robbery. He was in prison for another 6 months after that, but they let him out on parole after 6. And after that, then came the 3 victims of rapes at Ohio State University campus. After piecing some puzzles together, Billy Milligan was the number 1 suspect. He was charged with 3 counts of kidnapping, 3 counts of aggravated robbery, and 4 counts of rape.
Michael Finnegan. That's
What's Michael Finnegan?
like there was. Remember in grade
Michael
school,
Finnegan
there was an old man named Michael Finnegan.
Couldn't put it in again.
On his chin again. Something came, and there's Michael Finnegan begin again. You guys never heard that?
Never heard that one.
No.
It's been a Middletown thing.
Yeah.
You guys don't know. That's where I was getting Billy Milligan. It was an old man named Billy.
I was thinking of the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah.
Where he goes back to school.
Billy Madison.
That's Billy Madison.
Well, I thought that was Back to School.
No,
It's another classic.
That is a good one.
Back to Billy Milligan. So after these rapes, after we've determined what rapes were, this guy, while he's working with his legal defense team, who was just public defenders, by the way. Like, he didn't have OJ money.
It wasn't like, Shapiro and...
Right.
Yeah.
Not to be confused
Kardashian.
with Governor Shapiro.
Yeah.
See, usually these guys, though, that commit crimes like this, especially, did they know about the personalities yet, or this is not?
I mean, at this point, we're just recapping. So with that recap, so these guys, the legal defense is concerned, like, dude, what do you mean you don't know why you're here? What do you mean you don't understand what's going on? He just kept saying over and over again, why am I here? What did I do wrong? What happened?
Playing dumb.
Because hiring lawyers, they jump on shit like that. They love that because it gets their name out there. They're talking like a big case. Someone's going to be a book later. Like they're usually, I'll pro bono this.
I'll take this. Yeah.
And in this case, no, it was just the public defenders. They were just doing their jobs. So they had some doctors come in, psychiatrists, psychologists, and after a few tests and after more and more time, this guy ended up being diagnosed at first with acute schizophrenia, then with multiple personality disorder, and then finally with dissociative identity disorder. And I believe we ended last session with discussing what dissociative identity disorder is, and that is, in a moment of stress, the victim wishes to escape from the trauma. The victim's personality at that time runs away or goes to sleep, and another personality takes its place.
Versus multiple personality would be, you're probably aware of, would that be the difference between the two?
It's the triggering effect. So the dissociative means that you want to disassociate, you want to remove yourself from. So if you're like, if I'm attacked, like if I'm like pissed, I keep coming at you, like, answer my question, Dave, answer my question.
I turn into a little girl. Like, oh, stop.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
Makes
Whatever to escape
or
the one part.
whatever you turn
The
on.
trauma, the fear.
Yeah, I got you.
Which we talked about in the first part. There was a shit ton of trauma.
Yeah. Ton of trauma. So by now, after all these tests and after all these talks with these doctors and psychiatrists and psychologists and all this stuff, they discovered 10 personalities were operating inside of Billy. So we talked about 4 of them in our last episode, and those 4 were being Billy himself,
right?
Sean, who was a personality very similar to Billy's, but he just had a much better life. It's like that life I could have had if I didn't have a shithead stepdad.
Like,
So does Billy count though?
Billy is one for sure.
So
Billy himself, born Billy Morrison and Billy Milligan.
Okay, so that's 2 would be
He's
the
one.
So it'd be like
Gotcha.
Billy, and Sean's like Facebook Billy.
Yes.
Like you put that out, and you know what I mean. Everything how you do on Facebook.
Yeah.
Everything looks better.
And then No Name Boy could be like TikTok Billy.
Yes.
Where it's just user 12854. You don't even have your real name on there because you're looking up bad shit.
So we had Billy himself. We got Sean, who was the kid just like Billy, but with a better upbringing. You had No Name Boy, who was the guy that would tell Billy over and over again whenever anything was bad or when he was scared, No Name Boy would come out and just tell him that everything would be okay. It's okay. It's okay. Everything will be okay. Now just imagine that, right? So like, again, you're yelling at me like zap, zap, zap. You're an asshole. Like, what, answer my question, Zap. Answer my question. All of a sudden, my response is like I close my eyes for a second, then I wake back up and I come back
Somebody else.
and I come back at you saying, "It's okay, Zap. Everything will be okay, Zap. It's all right, Zap. Don't worry about it, Zap. Don't." And then now you're looking at me like you're talking to yourself. What the fuck is wrong with you, Zap? So that was No Name Boy. The 4th one is Christine, who's just a very timid and afraid little girl. In addition to those 4, they've now discovered Arthur, who was an Englishman.
Arthur should have been named Sean.
Yeah, correct.
Cooler.
Correct.
Or Arthur 2 on the Rocks.
Yeah, that's right.
Or Arthur, like the movie Arthur.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arthur's theme sung by Christopher Cross.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shit.
That's what made it. I think that album went like triple.
Oh, my God,
That
yeah.
album was huge. He still goes around and performs on that one album.
I got to hear that.
You know this track. If you get lost between the moon and New York City.
Yes, that's it.
City. Yeah, I know that.
Correct.
Yeah.
But it's true.
That's Alfred's theme. So,
Arthur's.
Arthur? Alfred?
Alfred,
Arthur.
the butler.
Arthur's theme.
Oh, Alfred. We were talking about Spider-Man or Batman last time.
That's right.
started
Alfred.
The butler.
Yeah.
Christopher
All right.
Cross is the one that sounds like he's going by in a car, right?
Correct.
No, that's not Christopher Cross. That's No, who sang background vocals for Christopher Cross?
Michael McDonald?
Yeah, Michael McDonald's the one. That, like, isn't
No,
he the?
no.
No, he's right with Christopher Cross because his voice goes away. Like,
Yamo Billa.
Yamo be there.
Yeah, but that's what's his name?
It's Michael
McDonald. I thought he sounded
That's
like-
not a Michael McDonald song though. It's Michael McDonald collaborated with the black guy who did that song. I can't remember the black guy's name.
That was a good tune though.
Yamo.
So
be
Christopher Cross is like
Yeah, exactly.
I get it.
Correct.
I get it.
All right. So 5th personality again is Arthur, this Englishman, well-mannered, who was actually an expert in science and was more often than not actually the in-charge personality.
So this is the one you were talking about where he's just genius. Like his mind, they're like, this guy is off the charts here, but he's, like you said, like mild retardation and other things because weird.
It
Crazy.
depends on who's going on.
Yeah.
So fun fact, and that's so with Arthur, he actually, when I say Englishman, he spoke with a very perfect British accent. Perfect.
Better than mine?
Probably.
Damn.
Although that's tough to beat.
It is. It is.
The 6th personality was a guy named Alan, who's just best noted as being a troublemaker and a narcissist. So after Alan came Tommy, Tommy was best known for being an escape artist.
Ooh.
Dude, this guy could get out of straitjackets.
Oh, shit.
Just saying.
I thought that was the other guy that got punched in the stomach and died. What was his name? The escape artist.
Oh,
Evil
Houdini.
Knievel?
Houdini.
Houdini, yeah.
Yeah.
No, Houdini was a band, a group.
They were freaks come out at night. Freaks
Freaks
come out at night.
What? Okay.
Now, when I see all these names, I picture the people I know. So
Right.
to me, Tommy talks, hey, oh my God.
Oh my
talks
God,
like that.
you don't even know.
Yeah.
Tommy drinks lots of Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I see Tommy and I think of Pinball Wizard.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Let's see.
I thought Tommy Lee Jones right away for some reason.
I have Christine on here twice, so forget that one.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Like, I didn't know if that was.
Yeah, I fucked that one
Okay,
up.
that's fine.
I probably missed one. But anyway, so
Snabber Kadubra, that one.
we'll go with number 9 as Reagan,
Good president.
although spelled differently. It's actually spelled rage with an N at the end.
So is that
Wasn't-
Rajin?
No, it would just be Reagan.
Okay.
Was that in The Exorcist? Was that her name, Reagan?
Reagan, yes.
Yeah. The movie.
Okay. I think so.
The
It was
girl's
Reagan.
name was Reagan, yeah.
Okay.
And what was the bad guy, like Mr. Diddlesworth or something?
In Exorcist.
Yeah, like
Mr. Bigglesworth?
There was a bad guy. in
something.
it?
Yeah, no, that she said the demon, but it was like her buddy. Like,
Dr. Evil.
oh my God, hold on, where's
Nutley.
where's
Nutley,
Nutley
get
when
on
you
that.
need him?
God damn it, Matt.
I'll find out in a second. Go ahead.
I hate when you do
So,
that. So Reagan was
I know.
So Reagan was a Yugoslavian who claimed so ultimately this Yugoslavian, again with a strong Eastern Bloc accent. While this guy is in prison or not prison, but he's being held for these crimes that he can't remember committing, Billy Milligan, this Reagan Yugoslavian alternate personality of Billy Milligan's comes out and says, yeah, I'm the one who's responsible for the robberies.
Wow.
I'm the one who held everybody at gunpoint. Now that's the robbery, and these are the robberies and rapes.
Right.
They both happened at the same time. So what this guy would do, fun fact, if we didn't talk about this earlier, these girls would be going to their cars. He would follow them to their cars or jump out of the fucking bushes when they're getting in their cars and then bum rush them into their cars.
Right.
So then he would rape them at gunpoint and then at gunpoint take their money.
Mm-hmm.
So
then the other guy would take over.
but the Yugoslav guy, the Yugoslav
would do the crime.
personality is only taking credit for the robberies because we now have this last personality who is Adelina. Now, this is a shy lesbian who cooked for all of the other personalities. But more importantly, she is the one who claimed responsibility for the rapes.
Yeah, I remember reading that and hearing that on the documentary, and I thought that was pretty wild.
Yeah.
You know?
So could Adelana, could she actually cook? Was she like a good cook?
Well, what does Adelina think looking down, being a girl? Like, how'd that get there?
I don't know.
I'm just thinking like,
I know, right?
Like, oh, wait, what happened? You know,
maybe that's what a girl thinks. Like, so maybe that's what a lesbian does. Like, I'm no lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I have in common with a lesbian is that I too like women.
Right.
So does a lesbian think in their minds like, man, I wish I knew what it felt like to be a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're the man lesbian, you know, whoever the one's on top, the dominant one.
Mm-hmm.
However it works, I don't know how lesbians work. And P.S., what I do know is that there's no such thing as scissoring. That is some made up. It does
in porno.
Correct. And it is made up solely for
in men's minds.
In men's minds. That is correct. So, anyways.
Oh,
this one is the one so the woman personality. This Adelina took credit for the rapes, while Reagan, the Yugoslavian communist,
was doing
the robberies.
Yeah.
But all of these personalities were in Billy Milligan.
One's capitalizing on the other one's moves and stuff.
Would Adelana?
I'll miss you in the middle.
Like, do you think they like Sean wants like a peanut butter and jelly? So she makes him one. Like the other one, like she makes spaghetti. Like I don't want
make
spaghetti.
Like 9 different meals.
She's like cooking all day. How do you have time for anything else?
Like Mel Gibson in Signs.
Yeah.
I
deal with that with 2 kids. It's like one.
Yeah, I know. One wants this. One wants that.
I don't like this. I don't like that.
Alan wants a Reuben.
Yeah, he gets into like a whole thing.
Yeah, Jesus.
Like nobody likes.
How do you got that kind of time
until you find like that one meal everybody likes? Also, well, there was another thing I wanted to talk about. Oh, one of the 3 victims, they got into the. I think it was like she was a nurse or something. One of the 3 that he raped, because he was actually kind of a good-looking guy. So he actually approached her, not at gunpoint, but was like, "Hey, I'm trying to like find a library." And she was just getting. This is like 7 a.m. And
Are you sure it wasn't at gunpoint?
No, because she
gun.
Yeah, his gun was out. No, he was like, "I'm trying to find a library," and she was like, "Oh, this is a handsome looking guy." He was looking of age of a college student, and she was like, "Oh, I can take you there. Jump in the car. You know, I'll just drive you over there." And they were in the car talking and stuff, and then he turned like in the car.
Yep.
Got her then at gunpoint and said, "Keep driving" and all that. But yeah, she was like one of the 3 that actually he didn't initially have to go up to her, you know, with a gun. But yeah, we didn't even really talk about that. But he in the first one, but he was they said, and not some of the pictures you could see where he's kind of a good looking guy.
Yeah.
That he probably didn't have much trouble. And approaching a woman, they might be like, "Oh, he's not bad looking," you know.
Look, all those dudes look the same in the 70s.
That's what we talked about that too.
That.
Yeah.
So if they all look the same, you had to kind of find one that looked a little better than all the other ones.
Right. Yeah.
Like a little like a heftier mustache or more feathered hair.
A little, you know.
He had like a Bradley Cooper-ish look
better
to me a little bit.
Cut to his jib.
Yeah.
But talking about all these personalities, I said something to Dave about the story of Sybil, which the real lady's name was Shirley Mason, and she had her mother was Katharine Hepburn, I believe,
in the movie,
played by
Katharine Hepburn. Yes, not in real life.
In real life,
yeah. But
just making sure.
But the mother, I guess, was abusive. She was kind of like an actor or whatever, or actress, and she was very abusive, would like hit her with hangers, like just very, very cruel mother. And I guess she took on these different personalities, befriended her psychiatrist, who started like dissecting all these things. Very interesting.
This is all in a movie.
But it's based on the real life of Shirley Mason.
Wow.
Who had these disorders much like Billy Milligan.
And this would have released around the time of these crimes, this movie? Was it in the 70s? Sure.
Well, so Sybil came, for damn sure, Sybil came first because there was a doctor.
Yes, the real Shirley Mason.
Yeah, so yes. Sybil is a true story. And so the doctor that worked with Sybil and determined she became the foremost expert or whatever on this dissociative disorder. This came out and occurred only a year or 2 before all of this shit went down.
Went on.
Yeah, the movie came out in 1973, so none of this. Well,
Didn't they find out though that was not true, that she was lying?
Well, they said the one lady, Deborah, whatever, came out and said that she thinks it's based on a lie, but because the psychiatrist maybe thought that she could get money out of this and maybe pushed. I don't know. Real. Yeah, them brain doctors are pretty slick. Yeah. So like she pushed her into these different personalities. But then again, I mean, do we ever know? Do we even know if Billy Milligan is
for real?
So we're gonna get into that. I think when we wrap this up, we're gonna have a good conversation.
But that's what I say. Do you really know? I mean, do you really know?
You don't even know.
You don't even know.
Yeah. Captain Howdy.
That was the bad guy.
The demon, and that's what Reagan called it. Captain Howdy.
Captain Howdy.
Captain Howdy.
Thank you. I can sleep easier tonight.
I know we all can.
Well, with all those personalities under our belts, Milligan's public defenders, who were Gary Schweikert and Judy Stevenson, pleaded an insanity defense, and they got it.
My God.
During the trial, the defense was able to convince the jury that Billy wasn't the one to commit these crimes. Instead, it was one of his personalities that did it. Actually, it was two of his personalities.
Yeah.
The one that raped and then the one that robbed.
Reagan and Adelano.
So, instead of going to jail, he was committed to a psychiatric hospital. Actually, several psychiatric hospitals. He went through a number of hospitals in the system. And while under psychiatric care, an additional 14 personalities were discovered through hypnosis administered by his primary caregiver, Dr. David Call. Now, these additional 14 were dubbed by Dr. Call as the undesirables.
See, this was something that was just in I think it was on Max, HBO Max, was Love and Death. And it was a story about that Candy Montgomery.
Yeah, I watched that. That was cool.
Did you see that?
Yeah, with the girl, what's her name? Jennifer? Not Jennifer.
The cute Olsen twin. Or no, she's not the twin. She's the Olsen sister.
No, but who was the girl that played Candy with the glasses? And stuff?
From...
That's
Timberlake's girl.
Yeah. Like his...
Jessica Alba?
Not Jessica Alba.
Jessica Biel?
Jessica Biel.
She was in the
Candy.
movie. Yeah.
Keeping it real with Jessica Biel.
That's right.
But she went to a psychiatrist and stuff. She ended up murdering the wife of the guy she was having an affair with.
Yes.
And they found out through this hypnosis, this trauma, that she screamed. She like lost control, and they had the guy who was interviewing the psychiatrist, but she got off with like that insanity.
Yep.
And
she killed her with an axe.
She not just killed her with the axe. She like 46, 57 times chopped her up.
But
bow.
Yeah, but they were saying like she was just not even there.
Yeah, they say that she completely
lost. It's a great show. Definitely check it out. It's called Candy. I think it's on Hulu.
So that's Candy the movie with Jessica Biel.
Yeah.
And then there's Love and Death on Max. It's like a 4-part series.
And it's based on the same story?
Based exactly the same.
How about that?
But
Hulu.
Yeah.
Is that the guy from Star Trek?
Hulu. yeah, that's the guy.
Captain
George
Hulu.
Takei. Yeah, Hulu.
How's Takei talk? Oh man, he used to be on Stern all the time.
He's like
Sulu.
He says, what's his big thing? Musculature.
I can't even get it. Yeah, it's so good.
Balloon knot.
Yeah,
that's it. There you go.
That's it. Yeah.
So it is now. While I have written here for you guys no details on the undesirables, there's actually a little caveat to that I had discovered since. So understand that this Dr. David Call guy, not to be confused with the Fall guy.
I was just thinking about
David
that.
Call.
So David Call, what he'd wanted to do, his intended treatment was called fusing. He wanted to fuse all of the personalities together into one. And so in his mind, he's thinking there's going to be some kind of massive, we were just talking about the term earlier, implosion, where all of these forcing bodies all come together. And once they're all together, they just shrink into one big thing and they all
like
just
Wu-Tang.
go away. Yes, they come together
like Killer Bees.
Like Devastator.
Yeah.
Constructicons.
That's it.
So that was the plan. Now, unbeknownst to Dr. Call at the time, when I said there were 14 undesirables, the most important undesirable was a guy that went by the name or the handle of the Teacher. And the Teacher was actually already a fusing of a couple of personalities.
Like the Jizza.
Like the Jizza.
ODB.
If you say.
Raekwon the Chef.
Mm-hmm.
So It was the fusing included Reagan and I don't want to say the Brit. It might have been the narcissist guy, or it might have been Alan. Yeah,
Alan.
It might have been Reagan and Alan came together, and it
formed Voltron.
Could have been, but they started again. This teacher, they were able to now control the other personalities when and when not they came into play. So understand again that this doctor is administering this hypnosis on a guy that has this dissociative disorder. So this guy just activated some kind of extra shit in this guy's mind that now these personalities have a personality of their own and are now in control. So before, when Billy would black out and not know what the hell was going on,
right,
he now knows what's going on.
He's aware of it.
He is aware that, oh, hey, I'm going away. Here comes the teacher. Oh well, now I'm the teacher. I'm going to go away, and here comes, little Christine. And then Christine comes in, or then Tommy comes in, or whomever comes in, but they all know it. And they all know what each one's doing, and they can turn on and turn off at their choosing.
I didn't hear any of the, on the documentary, I don't even know if they played any of the tapes of him changing, but does his voice change?
Absolutely, his voice changes.
So he talks in a different...
So thank you for saying that. This is the actual switch. What you just said is the actual switch that flipped in Billy's mind that allowed control of all of these personalities over each other to let this one play or let this one in or let this one in or let this one in. It was when Billy, as Billy, heard himself on a recording talking as Reagan.
He's like, oh, okay, I got you. That makes sense. I don't know if we touched on it in the first one, the Netflix. I wasn't a big fan of it. I thought, like you said, it was very informative.
Sure.
But I thought it was at times a little boring and a little drawn out. I think they could have done it in maybe 2 episodes instead of 4, but there were points that I missed, I'm sure, so I probably missed that part.
I don't know if that was on the Netflix one. This one I got off of one of the a local news article out of Columbus from like 15 years ago.
I got
say I had like a personality or whatever, a multiple.
If only you had a personality.
But what if it was like called the Wu-Tang disorder? How many different personalities would I have?
Well, how many guys are in Wu-Tang?
That's what I'm trying to think.
There's like 9.
Ghostface,
it's
RZA,
like Slipknot's like that too.
Ghostface, Killer, RZA, Jizza,
Old Dirty Bastard, Method Man, Inspector Deck,
You God.
How
many are there? How many personalities would I have?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me go ahead, guys. Talk amongst yourselves.
Is Kip Winger on there?
Kip Winger was he in ODB? He might have been in or in Wu-Tang.
Oh, Raekwon the Chef, we said that. Capadonna.
Yeah.
Be another one. Master Killer. You have a lot of personalities with this Wu-Tang disorder.
How's your phone?
You God, and that's it. Inspector Deck. Yeah, we got them all.
Yeah.
10 disorders.
10 disorders.
10 disorders. Wu-Tang disorder.
Let's see. Undesirables. Tapping glass. Oh, okay. So there we go. Dr. David Call, Undesirables, the teacher, fusing. Fast forward from there. Just shy of 10 years later, in early July of 1986, Milligan escaped the mental facility.
Escaped. Why does this sound like a horror movie?
I mean, he jumped like Michael Myers, dude.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
How many people really escape from mental institutions? That's crazy.
Well, this one was like a country club. They said.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. Dude, they're just.
There was golf, a pool.
Yeah.
Bocce.
Just, yeah. Let's think of what's the Adam Sandler movie when he's the golfer?
Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
So think of the old folks home where his grandmother has to go to live to do all the the
activities.
Ben Stiller is the evil nurse in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a place like that. These people are just milling around outside, not doing anything. Very low security. So he escaped with the help of a friend, Jim Murray. So this Jim Murray, if you did watch the Netflix thing, this is the guy that back in the 70s looked like at this point, the mid 80s. He looked exactly like Rick Ocasek from the Cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I thought you were going to say Jim Murray. Like I thought he was a running back.
Yeah, that's the one I know.
No.
So this guy.
So Jim Murray.
He was just
the Rick Ocasek lookalike.
Oh, God.
So it sounds like
Rest
it was
his
just
soul.
what he needed, I guess.
Just what he needed.
Yeah.
He's all he's got tonight. So he left he actually recorded Jim. I'm sorry.
He recorded his third album.
Jim recorded Billy. Videotapes. This is basically hi, goodbye. Thanks for having me. It was good to be here, but I'm cured. I'm okay. I'm going to leave you now. This is just for him to leave. Like it's instead of writing a letter or not doing anything, he recorded videotapes and then he left them for him. Like, hey, I'm all good now. I'm fine. I'm leaving.
Right.
Who's going to drive him home that night?
Yeah.
Jim Murray.
Speaking of that car song, that was actually not Rick Ocasek that sings that particular song.
That's correct.
Yeah.
There was two guys that sang. The one guy died a lot earlier. Ocasek just died a couple years ago.
But the other guy, not Ocasek, but the other guy.
Yeah, Drive was sung by the other guy, not Rick Ocasek.
Yep.
And he did a couple of them.
They're a great band, though.
So with the help of that same friend, Jim Murray, from his incarceration in Ohio, he made his way to Colorado. From there, with the help of his brother, he made his way to Vancouver, that's in Canada, where he settled into a new life using the alias Christopher Carr.
We were just talking about him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
The singer.
His voice sounds like a car.
Yeah.
Like he's in a car. Well, for Billy, a life on his own didn't go so well. He'd gotten himself a roommate, a disabled vet and local college attendee named Michael Madden.
I thought you were going to say Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
Magic
Michael
legs.
Madden.
Yeah, he was in Reservoir Dogs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Close.
Oh, damn.
So over the course of their short relationship, and by short, I mean this is only a couple of months.
Okay.
A couple, like from July, this ran from July to September. This whole thing, like he escaped in July. Yeah, early July. This whole duration is just going to go like 3 months.
It's quick.
So over the course of that short relationship, Milligan had opened a joint checking account for both of them, as a means for him to cash and use Madden's disability checks. In mid-September, Madden went missing and was never seen again. To this day, Milligan is suspected of murdering him. That is, abducting him, murdering him, and hiding his carcass in the woods or submerging it in a lake in the woods.
Is that going back to that no body, no crime type thing? So they could never
no victim, no
prove
crime.
it. Yeah.
Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, yeah.
That's right.
That's a great song.
Yeah. So what year was this?
This
like
was
80.
80,
Madden 86.
86.
Yeah.
Madden 86.
Yeah.
That was the first release.
God damn it, Dave. That was good.
Yeah.
That might have been out for the what was the first Madden? Super Nintendo.
I think
It might have
Montana
been a PC.
Montana was on the cover of that one. I think it was Montana
That was like
Marino
Madden.
Elway.
I don't even know if they had the years before. The first Madden was just like on PC, I think.
Okay.
86 would have been Tecmo, right?
Yeah, that would have been Tecmo.
That would have been Madden Tecmo Bowl.
Madden 86.
That's where you got to take the Raiders if you're ever playing Madden.
Bo Jackson.
Yeah, Bo
and,
Jackson and Marcus Allen in the backfield.
That was good stuff.
It's up, down, Z the whole way. Can't catch you.
Up, down, Z.
Yep.
So he is a continuous suspect in this because shortly before this, he had borrowed somebody's wetsuit. I forget from whom, but he borrowed somebody's wetsuit. And in this wetsuit, this is a diving suit, essentially.
Yeah.
For divers, there are weights on those suits that can it'll take you down quicker.
Right.
He returned the suit after this guy went missing, but the weights
were gone.
The weights were gone.
Wow.
It's like, here's your suit. I kept the weights.
Don't take a detective for that one,
that
right?
one out,
Right.
But then again, no body. So, I mean,
No body, no crime.
No crime.
No body, no crime. So, not long after this, and I mean not long after, he soon, like almost immediately,
He works fast, man.
he traveled to Florida to live with his aunt in Miami. And within days, he was captured by the FBI. But he was never formally charged with Madden's murder or cause for disappearance.
Yeah, and there was a thing where they found like some eyeglasses that belonged to Madden.
That's
right?
correct.
And there was,
Those are actual eyeglasses, aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there
With
was
blood.
blood on them.
There was blood on him.
But there was DNA, I guess, was kind of new at the time. This is like 89, I think, when they finally, I don't know,
They
tested
looked like
the DNA.
Dahmer glasses.
Yeah.
That was the style at
It's
the
the
time.
style. That's the style.
But there was not enough blood, I guess, even if they did test it and match it, that they could have said that that was blood from somebody dying. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he could have just cut his eye or something and got a little bit of blood. There was with no body, like we said, they couldn't really prove anything.
Right.
But they did have, I guess, things belonging to him that,
Circumstantial, but not enough to prosecute.
right.
So
When you don't have a body, I guess it's just really hard.
it's true. It's absolutely true.
But if you don't, I mean, when you have evidence, though, I still don't understand that. Like, they think these people just get up and leave, go to Mexico, disappear.
The thing is, you can't, I guess it's just so hard.
But
to
then not
prove.
enough evidence. Yeah.
So in Vancouver, that at the time, I don't know if it still is, but at the time, and that's what was up. Like, no body, no crime.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't. This guy ran off somewhere. We don't know what happened.
Yeah, yeah.
We know you have his glasses in your car, but
Even when you do find the body, though, I guess if it's all decomposed and there's no, like, how do you still even link it? You know.
But then again, these guys were linked together. I mean, they lived together. They were friends. So him having any kind of stuff of his is just, you know, Milligan's like, hey man, he picked up. I was, you know, went to the room one day, had some coffee, and he was gone.
He's just out. Yeah.
So watching like the Netflix series on this, there was a part where the landlady, their landlady, had, you know, she got a little stint, and she had mentioned that she was over there at one point, and those two were arguing, and it was something over money, had something to do with money, and it was like the next day or two that, like, that was the last time. That was the last time she ever saw that Madden.
Wow.
Last time.
Why do people always argue over money?
I don't even know.
It's money.
Dang.
And power.
And I have both.
Yeah.
And you know it.
So now recaptured, he goes back to the loony bin, and less than 2 years later, 2 years later than going back, Milligan was released in 1988. On August 1st, 1991, he was discharged from the Ohio mental health system and the Ohio courts. So he's done. He's out.
What's a discharge? Like nobody's watching you anymore. You
Correct.
don't have any.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
You're done. So, I mean, again, he wasn't in prison, so there's no parole. There's no shit like that. He was instead of going to prison, he went to the loony bin. That was it.
Yeah.
And 10 years after that, 10 years after that, they let him out. And then 3 years after that, all right, well, now you're officially out. Like, you've been coming back for maybe follow-ups, making sure you're taking your scripts.
Right.
You're done. We're writing you off. You're cured.
He served his. Well,
It's not even time.
Not even time.
Nope.
It was just being part of the system.
Just like evaluating him and
Because the rapes were proven not to be him, even though they couldn't prove which personality the rapes.
It was his body, but somebody else's personality.
Yes.
Yep.
and if you can blend all them together, maybe they thought one could overtake the other and control it. Who knows?
Super cock.
Yeah.
So 5 years after that, now, Dave, I know you had talked about this earlier. 5 years after that, in 1996, he made his way to California, and he was working with A-level directors and actors on a short movie about his life. Now,
Go ahead.
I was going to say the film fell through, and he later went on to live with his sister. But I want to talk about the Hollywood time.
Yeah. So go ahead, Matt.
No, I was just before you get into the Hollywood, this is where like I look into this, and the same thing with Sybil. Like, do you call bullshit? There has to be, when you're talking to like A-list directors, when you're telling people all about your story, this is what I got to wait. But hold on, Billy, real quick. Hold on, I got to go to the bathroom. And then you come back and like they're like, wow, this guy's like, you know,
A genius.
yes, look, we can do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
But
Hold on, Billy. I got to go to the bathroom.
hi, I'm Adelina.
Yeah.
Everybody doing okay? I can cook you something. You know what I mean? Like when these guys are like, wow, this guy's out there, man. Like he really has all these different like anybody could do. I'm going to try that shit at work tomorrow, man.
Calling off today.
Be like, fish don't fry in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Moving on up.
But yeah, so he met with James Cameron. Actually wanted to meet with him. So James Cameron had interest in making this into a movie, and I guess
a pretty big director,
big time
A-lister.
I'm thinking this is in the 90s at some point.
He was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right?
James Cameron was.
Oh, just Cameron. I'm sorry.
Cameron was the friend.
Yep.
So James Cameron was all about doing this movie. He brought him out there. He was like bumping elbows with Schwarzenegger. It must have been doing what was the movie? Twins. Yeah. Danny DeVito. Yeah, and he even brought like his childhood friend out. Billy did, like, hey, come on out to L.A., hang out and stuff, and he was living a good life out there. Cocaine, drugs, partying, all that stuff. They come to find out that I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say strippers, scissoring.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
What are you doing later?
Yeah.
You want to hang out? Get down.
Speaking of the Arnold, the documentary on him on Netflix,
I saw that.
was awesome.
Yes, very good.
So they come to find out that somebody else owns his life story. This woman owns a story, Billy Milligan's story, as he was going through. Back in the 70s or 80s, like he told all these people, like, hey, yeah, you can do the movie, you can do the book, you can do this and that. He was giving control of his life story to all these people. Well, this one lady had sole control, I guess, of the movie rights. The initial number was $250,000 that she wanted. James Cameron was like, well, we can do that. He went to the studio, and then she was like, you know what? No, it's $1.5 million. Like she sued James Cameron or something.
Right.
It was like, no, it's going to be more now. 1.5. James Cameron went to Fox, I think was the studio, and they were like, yeah, we're not doing that. So
Right.
he came back and he's like, we can't do it. We're not going to do it. Fast forward to 2015, there was rumors that Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to do this and wanted to play Billy Milligan.
Mm-hmm.
It was a character that he wanted to do for like a long, long time. At that point, he had released a statement saying that he was going to do this movie called The Crowded Room. He was going to play Billy Milligan, and it was going to be a feature film. They also said that there was rumors tied to John Cusack, Brad Pitt, Matthew McConaughey, Johnny Depp, and Sean Penn all playing this character, Billy Milligan.
I think Depp should play him.
Yeah, so that was 2015. It never came to be a movie, but currently, 2023, there's a show on Apple TV Plus. It just came out June 6th. It was called The Crowded Room, and it's a 10-part series on Billy Milligan.
10 parts.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I know, right?
No, I shouldn't say 10-part. 10 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 episodes.
It's a 10 personality.
10-part, 3-hour special.
One for each personality.
Yeah.
But Tom Holland is playing the character. Now,
Tom Holland's cool.
it's based on his story, but they changed a lot of stuff. It takes place in Manhattan
Right.
instead of Ohio, and they changed a lot of the things. But it's based on
So
that.
they're making it more.
It's really the concept of Billy Milligan, but there's no mention at all of Billy
They
Milligan.
even changed the name and
Right.
everything. Yeah, but it's
So if you didn't know shit about Billy Milligan, you would just watch this show and
go.
think
Yeah.
nothing about it. Okay.
Plus, there was a movie we talked about, Split, which I don't remember. I saw it, but I don't really remember it.
Dude.
It was good.
Yeah.
McAvoy or whatever.
James McAvoy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He played the hell out of that role.
Dude.
Like, it was very...
Yeah.
Dude.
And what about
Very convincing.
Glass?
Glass is also
I didn't
awesome.
see that
That's a
either.
whole part of that 3-part series.
I've seen the first one. I've seen the second
Unbreakable.
one. Unbreakable.
Split.
Split. I still need to see Glass.
Glass is very cool.
Okay.
Actually, a new one came out for that on Disney with Samuel L. playing a part of what he played
That
in.
whole universe.
Yeah.
Are you talking Nick Fury? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about
No, Nick Fury. Isn't that a part of what that is?
Fuck
no.
Okay. I thought it was.
That's a
I dug it.
Nick Fury is Marvel?
Nick Fury's the one with the Jerry curl.
yeah.
Yeah.
Glass
And,
is
Marcellus.
that's right.
And the
Winston
briefcase.
Marcellus. Yeah.
Yeah.
The-
Isn't that it? No.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
don't know,
That's
maybe
it.
not.
Glass is M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan's cool.
Has
He got some
nothing to
good
do
ones.
with
So it's nothing to do with Disney.
Nothing.
Is completely different from what that.
Correct.
There's so many things out now. I'm sorry, like the Marvel and I
So
get
many
confused
universes.
on.
Yeah.
I thought I was in like what Spider-Man just got done with, the multiverse.
the multiverse.
It could be a part of it. You never know.
It could be.
Like if I put like a big ball in the middle of this thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you draw something on that, it goes in a straight line. But once the ball's implanted, it just keeps going in a
Going
circle.
around and around.
Jesus Christ.
But at any rate, this Billy Milligan ties into Hollywood in many ways.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool to tie all that together.
It is certainly worth seeing Split.
Yeah, I will check it out. I saw Split. I just don't remember it. I remember the scene of him in the parking lot with the girl in the car. Like he kidnapped one and used her to kidnap more girls. And I remember they were underground in his house.
Yeah.
And I also saw a movie similar to that called Black Phone, which was but dealing with child abduction and stuff. It was
I
Ethan
saw that
Hawke.
with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, and it kind of had a vibe like that.
That was weird though. Like I don't think
Yeah.
that was that well done.
No,
It was
no.
kind of B flickish.
Right.
Unlike Moon Knight.
Moonlighting.
Oh, Moon from Disney.
So
Moon
first
Knight.
and foremost, Moon Knight, yes, the one on Disney. Ethan Hawke was in that. So that guy, that's a very good example of what this guy's life was like, or what he alleges his life was like. So in Moon Knight, that guy would, in the very early on episodes, Moon Knight guy, when he was just mild-mannered dude, would black out. And all of a sudden, he would wake up and his hands were bloody, glass was broken, bodies were laying all over the fucking place. He's like, what the hell went on here? What happened here? What happened? And what had happened in that show, in Moon Knight, these god beings were, using his body as a vessel to do whatever they needed to get done. That's not to be confused with Moonlighting,
With Bruce Willis.
strangers.
who can't even remember his name anymore.
Yeah,
alas.
Bruce Willis. Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor guy.
That's a shame.
Well, speaking of poor guy, old Billy Milligan was left hanging and no money, which kept him a poor guy as the film fell through, and he later went on to go move in with his sister. Years later, 15, 16 years later, he was diagnosed with cancer in 2012, and he remained with his sister until she could no longer care for him. Milligan died at a nursing home on December 12th, 2014, at the age of 59, just 2 months shy of his 60th birthday.
That's sad. But Not really, maybe. I don't know. The guy seemed like a bad dude.
And so goes Billy, son of Johnny.
But I mean, to use the personality, but I mean, they had the best people in the world. It all depends. I don't know exactly what happened to him as a kid. If that was proven true, which we don't know of any of that. If there was torture by his second dad, if there was like the thing buried alive, stuff like that, I could understand. But if that stuff was just something he made up also, who knows?
A big part of me wants to call bullshit on this whole thing.
Yeah, yeah.
The fact, and Dave, you hit on it very, very, very well. The fact that Sybil came out just a couple of years before all of this started happening, at least in his life, come on. I mean, so actually, not even a couple of years. So if he was born in 55, Sybil came out in 73. So that's he's 18.
He sees that and he's like, yeah.
And now all of a sudden, oh, what rape? I didn't do that shit. I didn't do anything like that. Who are you talking about?
So is he just super, like the guy just used that for a crutch?
Many believe, many, the prosecutors in this case believe it. Many people in many different townsfolk, friends, family, neighbors, many believe that he was just absolute bullshitting this.
You know, I only thing that I couldn't explain, and maybe he was just that smart and that much of a genius, is that not only did he speak in these other languages, like he would use
English?
No, but he did speak in other languages. Though he did,
Yugoslavian, yeah, for
Yugoslavian.
Sure.
He did speak,
and he would
Yugoslav?
write stuff out perfectly. Like, and they had people look at it that were like, you know, like.
Well, then he should have a priest, not a psychiatrist.
Well, that's one thing I thought about too. Like, you know, like spirits and stuff.
No, because there was a time where I was into reading on things like that. Not probably like 10, 12 years ago, whatever. But I was into like these type things, like how are priests going to these houses saying like, you know, nothing wrong, to the point where they lose all scientific knowledge, and they call upon a priest to check this stuff out. But like you said, there's like kids and stuff that are speaking in languages they would know nothing about, like kids fluent in Latin.
Well, could it be something where you unlock a part of your brain that you don't even know? Like, you know, that's what I'm saying. Maybe this guy.
Look at John Travolta in Phenomenon.
Yes.
That it could be a thing.
They say you only use what percentage of your brain. So maybe like this guy, and some people were able to unlock.
Was he that dedicated? Maybe he studied.
I don't know.
Slovak.
Yeah, I mean, where's he going to get?
Maybe he was at a wrestler picnic.
It's
they
not
didn't
like
have
stuff.
Babbel back then in the internet.
Yeah,
but they had books. Anybody can read.
Maybe
his family, his sisters, I think his one sister, I should say, said that he did watch a lot of like TV shows,
Yugoslavian shows.
No, but the British shit.
So the man from U.N.C.L.E. is the one, and in the Man from U.N.C.L.E. they had varying different characters. Like you had a bad spy from Yugoslavia, or one of the sneaky fucking Russians, or some shit like that.
And he'd pick up on it.
So how old was he when he was writing in Russian or Yugoslavian or talking?
Well, this is when they had him in custody.
Okay, yeah, so that's plenty of time to, maybe he was a craftsman. Maybe he wanted to push it enough to want to hang out with Schwarzenegger and A-listers from Hollywood.
Yeah.
Just because you can like write or speak one language, I don't think it makes you, I don't know.
Hey guys, can you wrap it up?
Oh shit, guys! I guess we're going a little long here.
Why? Every time,
you know. But this is so much fun. I just don't want it to end.
Every time with
but
the
like,
wifey.
you know how it is when you're having fun. The wife wants to shut it down. So,
Story of my life.
Right.
Story of my wife.
Story of my wife.
I was curious looking into this story, and we did talk about it in the first one. Like if there's other cases where people have gotten away with it using this kind of defense, and I came across two that I thought were interesting. The first one was a case involving a girl named Juanita Maxwell, and she beat a 73-year-old woman to death with a lamp. She claimed,
damn, Juanita.
She claimed her other personality, Wanda Weston, killed the woman, and actually
very similar to Juanita.
Yeah, when she was on the stand, I guess she transformed into Wanda, and everybody in the courtroom was like.
Matt's face is just so fucking priceless. Matt just gives you that.
Yeah, right.
Like the lips are pursed, his eyeballs are just looking up.
That was I'm Wanda.
Matt's just like, I don't believe you.
No,
well, I'll tell you what. The jury, I guess, believed her, and she was found not guilty.
Dang.
Yeah, but she gave a compelling
story. She was doing her own podcast.
No, another one. Billy Joe Harris from
Green Day.
Yeah, that's Now, Billy Joe Harris, he was from Texas. They called him the Twilight Rapist. So he was full of shit, this guy.
Okay.
So he did get, he was committing rapes and stuff, and they apprehended him and went on trial. And he put on this, it's this other personality he has, and he would like do this acting and shit. But it was really, really bad. I guess they said his acting was not good at all, and the jury was not buying it. And they even had him recorded on phone calls to his girlfriend in prison, going like, yeah, you should have saw me yesterday. Like
top notch.
I was putting on such a good show, and they really believe it. And I think I'm gonna. And then, so they had him.
When did this happen with Billy Joe?
I forget what year that was. That might have been 90s.
Okay,
I don't know.
90s,
It wasn't that long ago.
That's Billy Joe Armstrong.
Yeah, Billy Joe Armstrong.
Right.
From Green Day.
What was that movie you pointed out to me before with Richard Gere and Ed Norton?
Oh, perfect example. Yes, Primal Fear.
Primal Fear.
Great movie.
Yeah, where he switches in that. Very good.
When was that?
Point that out.
When was that filmed?
Primal Fear was like 92, 93.
Okay, we could still. That's
that.
vintage.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah, Kenny.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah, going into this, I could say at closing. I know we got to get out of here in a little bit, but the Candy Montgomery story. If people want to look into that, there's two outlets to that. There's the Love and Death on Max, and there's the Candy Montgomery story on Hulu.
Just called Candy, I think.
Yeah. But I think that was something that I could actually see a different side of somebody come out. This here, it just looked Hollywood to me, even how it ends. It seemed Hollywood.
Fun fact, his car, he actually bought a car when he was in the mental institution and stuff, and it was a Datsun. He was able to buy a car and afford it.
240ZX.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Was it?
It might have been. It was
It's
a
a high-end
Datsun, I know. So yeah, but he had a car. He could come and go as he pleased. They said it was like I said, about a country club.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting. And one other thing I wanted to touch on, you didn't get to see the documentary, Matt, but Zap, you did.
Yeah.
That song in the beginning they would play.
I skipped over that.
Oh, it was like it sounded like a Neil Young type song. It was like a shitty version of Neil Young.
Down by the river.
Which is hard to do because so many of those songs are shitty to begin with.
They are. Because I'm not a Neil Young fan, but I looked it up.
Seriously?
I don't.
I like
Neil
Crosby,
Young.
Stills, Nash and Young. Young had some good stuff on his
There's
own.
a couple, but Christ, I hear that. God,
he got that different. Is kind of whiny. I get you. I get you.
I know he's influential and people dig him. Not for me.
He likes trains.
But the song's called "Them" by the Lemonanas. I don't even have, not the Lumineers. it's Liminanas and David Menke. So I don't even know who they are or whatever. But I looked it up. I was just curious because it definitely has like a Neil Young vibe to it. But yeah, that song drove me nuts because I should have did like you and skipped it.
Yep.
But yeah, it was at the beginning.
Cowboy butts drive me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
That's Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
Sorry.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I was like, okay, never heard that.
You said the song drives me nuts. Not many people say that drives me nuts enough anymore. Like they used to, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
Joe Dirt.
Whenever I hear it anymore, I think Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt.
All right, we digress, man. The wife's gonna kill us here.
Yeah, she's down here. Yeah, she's giving me
Time
the
to
evil
bounce.
eye.
Start stomping on the floor.
She did make a comment that in the last one we talked too long after she told us to wrap
Yeah,
it
I
up.
know,
So,
I know.
but that's all right.
Fair. All right. Look, I don't want to disrupt the basement love. I got nothing. I can look at this when I saw this and I'm seeing it. I was very impressed by impressed, not looking at the feat or by feat, I mean talent or whatever this guy might have otherwise had. I'm saying I was impressed with the fact that all of this was happening, but I thought more and more as time went on, and the fact that he went to Hollywood and is doing whatever just to talk about his story, like why wasn't he switching around then? Like was everybody fused? Was everybody good by then? Who knows? I don't know. I'm gonna go. He was faking it.
You agree?
I agree.
Faking it.
I think there was the only thing, like I said earlier, if there was that trauma as a child, but I don't see how a dad could do something.
It is worthwhile. The only thing that would stop me from saying the faking it is the thing that Dave had said and aptly pointed out, and you will see that on that Netflix series on
The
this.
Slav.
When you see this guy doing these other voices and personalities and shit like that, that's bananas. Same thing with the IQ tests. Like that blows my mind.
Yeah, they even had like things hooked up to him that were reading his brain waves and shit, and they were changed, and they were like, "This must be broke." Like,
EEG. Yep.
Yeah, they were like,
But the EEG, like you can do that with like they teach people in like the CIA and
The
shit.
military,
and
like,
all that stuff, how to like shut your system down. And
that's the thing. There's a
and
probably,
if you like squeeze your hand a certain way or something with your thumb, you can increase your heartbeat.
just do all
I don't
kinds of
know,
stuff.
but I don't know. Like I said, how was the guy that much into his craft that he, I mean, anybody can sit in a mirror and do impersonations.
Yeah, I know a lot
Or
of
impressions,
I know
you know
people
what I mean?
that are pretty good at it.
Yeah,
and good
not,
actors.
Not
and
I
stuff.
said the Matt, but
No.
No, you're not.
tell me how you really feel, Zab. Jeez, thank you.
I kind of lean more towards, I think there was really something going on with the guy. Now, to what extent, I don't know. Like, I think mentally he had some shit going on, obviously, but I think there were, like, different personalities in there, but I don't know how much he took advantage of the whole thing and kind of, like,
That's fair.
selectively said, oh, yeah, I can't remember.
Mhm.
That's fair.
He probably kind of knew, but was just, that's my thought on it.
Are you mental?
That's fair.
But, yeah, I definitely dug that, Zap. Thanks for picking that one out.
Yeah, good one. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Again, worth a watch, worth a read, worth a little investigation. Definitely worth a watch if you want to. I'm not going to go out. I'm not going crazy and saying please watch this thing on the Netflix, but maybe catch a little bit of it if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely watch
Split.
Mm-hmm. For show.
I did watch it. I'm gonna go back and watch it. And I want to see Glass, the new one.
And Candy.
Yeah,
Candy Montgomery story.
Oh, there
Highly
you go.
recommend that.
Yeah.
And I might check out that new one, The Crowded Room on Apple.
Mhm.
I just got Apple for free. So we'll be back next week with a true crime or compelling story as always. Don't forget to mailbag us any things you'd like us to talk about.
Yeah, the Michael Finnegan song. If anybody knows that from a kid, please mailbag that because it wasn't. I remember it from grade school. I don't know if it's these guys never heard of it, but
Put on your yarmulke. It's time
Time
to
for
celebrate
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, don't forget to find us on Facebook, Instagram at Old Dirty Basement, on TikTok at Old Dirty Basement Podcast. I guess that's it for now, so we'll catch you where?
on the flip side,
If we don't see you sooner, we'll see you later.
peace. Thanks for hanging out in the Old Dirty Basement. If you dig our theme music like we do, check out the Tsunami Experiment. Find them on Facebook. Their music is available streaming on Spotify and Apple, and where great music is available.
You can find us at Old Dirty Basement on Facebook and Instagram, and at Old Dirty Basement Podcast on TikTok.
Peace.
We Audi 5000.